Thanks again for joining us. We start out today with a grim story. Brooklyn Center police say a woman kept her dead mother's body in her house for weeks without reporting the death to authorities. According to the criminal complaint, police responded to a home in the 3000 block of 56th Avenue North and found a decomposing body. The dead woman's daughter told police she had died a month earlier, and she was, quote, waiting for God to resurrect her. The daughter had not given her mother medicine to treat her diabetes and high blood pressure, saying she treated them naturally. The daughter is not in police custody. Nearly 5 years after a Chaska man fired his gun at a Brooklyn Park officer, the suspect learned his punishment for the crime. James Klein received a 5-year sentence for the shooting that occurred outside the Brooklyn Park Walmart store in March 2020. Officers returned fire, striking Klein in the leg and hand. No officers were wounded in that incident. Just over a year after the Brooklyn Park incident, Klein was out on bail when he got into a shootout with state troopers in Utah after carjacking someone's vehicle. Klein is already serving a 25-year term for that incident. This weekend marks the end of a relatively short era for a local restaurant. As Delane Cleveland reports, after 2 years of providing food, drinks, and entertainment to people in Maple Grove, Polly's is shutting its doors.
Yeah, it sucks, man. This place is like a family to me. They've always treated me well.
All good things must come to an end. Only for Polly's in Maple Grove, that end is coming sooner than expected.
I never thought that my endeavor into a full-service restaurant would be 2 years, right? A little over 2 years.
When Paul Saratori opened the restaurant in 2023, the concept was an entertainment-based dining experience. You could enjoy a good meal and play a few games on a sports simulator machine.
I told you this was a dream of mine, and it was also a dream of my late father's.
However, that dream quickly took a turn. Saratori says that he was leasing the building and his relationship with the landlord soured.
It had to do with rent, and it had to do with the landlord fulfilling their obligations under the lease.
Saratori broke the news to his employees earlier this month.
Paul's a great guy. I feel real bad for him. He put his heart into it. We tried our hardest, but, things don't work out sometimes. But, it'll be sad.
Sad because Polly's isn't just a restaurant. In 2 short years, it became a home away from home for the staff and the locals who enjoyed the vibe.
All the regulars, man. All the people that are so sad. Everybody that's been coming in, asking us why. We're going to miss it. It's the only restaurant around here they like going to. So it sucks.
I consider not only my employees as family, but everybody walks in the door. I treat them like family.
This chapter officially ends on February 23rd, but the spirit of Polly's will live on. If you're a fan of Polly's food, you'll still be able to get pizza, wings, and other menu items at Saratori's other business, Optimal Performance Golf. In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
A bill at the Minnesota Senate could give a multi-million-dollar boost to a local workforce development program. Brooklink is hosted by the cities of Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center. The program offers pre-employment training and summer internships for local youth. Senator Susan Pah introduced a bill that would give $2 million to the program over the next 3 years. Brooklyn Park Community Development Director Tim Gladhill says the funding would mean helping more people.
We have even more demand than what we're able to provide right now. We've had to scale back on the number of participants we can enroll in the program, really because of our staff capacities.
About 300 kids attended Brooklink's job readiness program last year. About 100 of those kids got internships at local businesses. A reminder for fish house owners, the deadline to remove shelters from area lakes is fast approaching. That deadline is March 3rd. Despite the recent cold snap, the DNR says the conditions don't change the statutory deadlines. And with warm weather in the forecast, the DNR reminds anglers that ice conditions vary widely, and ice is never 100% safe. They should check the ice thickness for themselves before removing their shelters. This weekend, a musical classic takes the stage. In Weekend Showcase, the Music Man is ready to delight audiences at Wayzata High School. Photojournalist Dustin Scholl gives us a front row seat.
All right. I'm ready to see Scene 6.
This show is mainly about how towns can be changed by people.
It's a show about this con man who travels around to different towns and he's selling this idea of a boys band.
Harold Hill is a con.
Harold Hill is a complicated man.
Giant, arrogant, egotistical man.
He's a charmer, that's how he sells. his band instruments.
He is not the ideal man, and he is everything Marion does not want.
You do. I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian.
Throughout the show, he goes to River City to try to con the people of River City, but he meets Marion the librarian, who he's trying to charm because that's his whole thing. And Marion kind of charms him, and they fall in love, and then he decides that he doesn't want to be a con man.
I think that's what makes Marion such a wonderful character, that she loves someone so flawed and still finds the best out of them.
Going from a morally gray type of personality to a good man in the end.
Nobody is too far away from redemption. Right? You can always become a better person.
You on my pillow in all of my dreams.
The thing that would mean the most to me is people walking out of the theater and saying, wow, I really enjoyed that show.
If people leave being like, wow, that was so great, and it was really funny, that's what I would hope.
It's you. Yes, it's you. Oh, yes, it's you.
Performances of The Music Man run through March 1st. We'll have details on how you can get tickets on our website, ccxmedia.org.
The Section Boys Hockey Playoffs started Thursday night for a lot of the local teams. In Section 5AA, second-seeded Maple Grove opened tournament play at home. Chaz Moots has the highlights.
The Crimson won 9 of their last 13 games to close out the regular season and beat Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids 3-1 back on December 5th. First period, Panthers on a 2-on-1, Jack Enberg to Caden Elfin, but Zach Price denies a shot at the 5-hole. Good block, no score after 1. In the second, this is with the Panthers on a power play. Crimson get a 2-on-1, Brady Aubit, great patience, and then a snipe that rings in. Great play by the senior. A shorthanded goal puts Maple Grove up 1-0. Later in the second, Crimson on a power play, Panthers trying to clear the puck. Aubit turn and shoot, he gets another. MG adds to their lead. Then 22 seconds later, very next shift, Charlie Stenerson shot on net. Cole Forrest backhand putback, just like that. It's 3-zip Maple Grove. In the third period, Cole Braid behind the net, great pass to who else but Aubit. He gets his hat trick, a great opening playoff performance from him. Another Maple Grove senior who showed up was Price. He had 18 saves on the night, including this one-on-one shutdown of Drew Lindquist. The Crimson end up getting one more goal on an empty netter from Gavin Custerman. They roll to a 5-0 shutout and move on to the 5AA semifinals. In Maple Grove, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
Wayzata is the number 2 seed for the Section 6AA hockey playoffs. The Trojans played host to another team from the area in Thursday's quarterfinals. 7-seeded Hopkins coming to Plymouth to take on the Trojans in the opening round of the 6AA tournament. First period, and the Trojans' George Erickson misses the net, banking the puck off the end boards right to Colin Bierman, who scores on the backside. It's 2-0 Wayzata after 1. Second period, Cruz Sauer feeds McCoy Kurtz in the slot, and his quick wrist shot finds the back of the net. Trojans lead 3-0 in a big period for Kurtz. Good pass here from Nolan O'Connell to Eli Moldy. His quick shot is in. Second of the night and 12th of the season for the junior to make it 4-0 Wayzata. Less than a minute later, it's a 2-0 for the Trojans. Jackson Hendricks to Kurtz to make it 5-0, and the goals keep coming. 13 seconds later, Sauer to Kurtz, and it's a hat trick for the sophomore. 3 goals in a minute 12 for Wayzata, and it's 6-0 Trojans. Hopkins gets on the board late in the period. Xander Brown sweeps home the shot on a rebound to score. Wayzata, though, eliminates Hopkins 6-2. The Trojans face Benilde St. Margaret Saturday at 7 p.m. at undersized Bloomington Ice Garden. After a tough 1-point loss to Hopkins last week and the aftermath that followed, the Wayzata boys basketball team was anxious to get back on the court this week. The Trojans scored a big win Wednesday. 17-5 Eastridge taking on 18-4 Wayzata in what was expected to be a close game. Eastridge guard Bennett Skinner comes out firing. He bombs in a 30-plus footer here. Skinner scores the Raptors' first 11 points. It's 11-4 Eastridge. Back come the Trojans. Nick Nordane with a steal and a pass ahead to Isaac Olmstead for a layup. The game is tied at 18. Christian Wiggins drives to the basket, scores, and is fouled. The junior scores 25 points on the night. Sam Mose hits for three. He's one of 6 Wayzata players with a three-pointer in the game, part of a 21-2 scoring run for the Trojans. Ryan Mann drives to the basket and scores. The Trojans senior with a big game, netting 18 points. Wayzata is up 11 at halftime. One of the state's top juniors, Cedric Tomes of Eastridge, gets to the basket and scores in the second half. Tomes nets 30 points before fouling out. Olmstead with a three-pointer here. He scores 23 points in the game. Wayzata puts up 110 to win their 19th game of the season. 110-80 Trojans is the final. In Plymouth, John Jacobson, CCX Sports. Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.